Today's Cowboys Report is brought to you by RexMD. If you sometimes lack some confidence in the bedroom, maybe you had a few too much to drink, everyone's been there. RexMD is helping you avoid that problem. Take advantage of the best deal they've ever offered, up to 90% off, and only pay $2 per dosage with our exclusive link. It's rexmd.com/chat. Tell you more about them later on in today's show. We begin with time is a flat circle, and the Odell Beckham and the Dallas Cowboy rumors are back once again, because of course it is. Jordan Schultz reports that Beckham has had positive discussions with the Dallas Cowboys, and that's basically what Jerry Jones had said at the Combine and around that before. He also mentioned the Ravens and Chiefs, and we know the Giants and Jets have been in there, and the Bills, because even though he had the special workout, we're right where we were at Thanksgiving. It's the same team still involved potentially in the Odell Beckham sweepstakes. He allegedly wants a multi-year deal, reportedly $15 to $20 million. Now, that is a problem for me, and I think the rest of the NFL, unless the vast majority of that deal is incentive-based. Because you have a player coming off a torn ACL in the Super Bowl, but we are approaching 14 months now from that injury. And for Odell Beckham to be saying, oh, hey, we're looking at 5 months, I'm going to be feeling even better. We should already be at that point. I am worried about the injury because he wasn't ready to play this year, which was the whole reason why Dallas had interest in the first place. And now we're maybe not sure he's ready to go. I don't like that very much. Receivers a need, though, for this Cowboys team. And I promise you, they want a playmaker. They want to get another wide receiver on this team. The question is, who is it? How do you make that happen? Is it trade? We'll look at some trade options. Is it draft? We'll have plenty of draft stuff here. Odell Beckham is something that Jerry Jones wants. Jerry Jones is driving the bus on this particular interest. And in the end, I do believe the Cowboys have interest. But for the team, not just your owner and GM or your de facto GMs, the contract matters. If Odell's being firm and fast and I want a 3-year deal, $15 million, 2 years guaranteed, I'm not sure the Cowboys have that much interest in the end because they don't like to spend money in free agency by choice. And that is a valid concern when you have a player who missed an entire year with an ACL. It should not be a season-long injury. Even if you come back and you're not the same like Gallup, well, aren't we now worried about Beckham not being the same when he comes back in his first year? I certainly am. So more on this in a moment, but do you want to sign Odell Beckham? OBJ for yes, NOBJ for no. It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it, head down there, and let me know. At the $20 million per year range, at the $15-ish million per year price tag, I am out. I am not interested in going that route for Odell Beckham. That's too much money. But I do know the Cowboys want a wide receiver. We will look at some more names they could hypothetically begin to pursue, whether it's in free agency, in the trade market that's been the eye emoji stuff for days now on social media, or maybe a day now, I guess I should say there. They want another playmaker because they somewhat learned their lesson. They need another playmaker on this team. We'll break down some options, DeAndre Hopkins, Jeudy among them. But first, you sometimes lack some confidence in the bedroom. You've had those nights where you're a little nervous, or you had too much to drink. As I sit here looking at my desk from our live show, there's nothing worse than not being able to put the stick shift in drive when you need it the most. But have no fear, RexMD is here, spreading cheer, even if you had a few too many beers. RexMD is FDA approved and the most trusted leader in men's telehealth. They have sponsored today's Cow Report to help you always be prepared. RexMD has made it simple, easy, and cost-effective to help all the men out there last longer and feel more confident in the bedroom. RexMD makes getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis easy. Everything's online. There's no prescription. There's no waiting rooms. They'll deliver it discreetly to your door. No embarrassing trips to the doctor, etc. They will take care of you. Make it easier for you. No insurance, no co-pays either, by the way. Take advantage of the best deal they've ever offered and save up to 90% and only pay $2 per dosage. That is rexmd.com/chat. Starter packs of generic Viagra and Cialis are available. It's rexmd.com/chat, up to 90% off. Let's go to the latest on DeAndre Hopkins, as trade rumors have again surfaced linking Dallas to a potential DeAndre Hopkins trade. The gist of it is this from Jane Slater, which we again broke down yesterday. This is my evening tweet covering my bases. I've asked anything to the Hopkins rumors, now with more restructuring, and Zeke, a source said, no D-up talk from us. Guess he's telling everybody he wants to be a Cowboy. Any surprise moves right now like Gilmore coming? No. I would always urge caution with the player wants to be a Cowboy. Von Miller had interest in being a Cowboy. Lots of players have interest in being a Cowboy. They're still at the age where they grew up being Cowboys fans. And Hopkins, of course, trains in Dallas like a lot of the players do. And I absolutely would have interest. I promise you on that. But right? I think it's about the second-round pick. I'd move it. Hopkins has missed time the past 2 years. I don't really care. He's still a really good football player for you. And although I crave speed, especially on the outside at wide receiver, Hopkins is such a still, I believe, premier player that it would make sense. But I have to see it actually go down before I start to think it could actually happen for this Cowboys team, because just because the player has interest doesn't mean the two other teams involved in a trade have interest on that front. So that starts to make things at least a little bit more murky. I know they want a receiver. I think it would be a little bit weird if they really hadn't had any Hopkins conversations, because then they're just not doing their jobs. Makes the whole thing kind of fishy there. All right. Name a wide receiver, whether it's draft, trade, free agency, who you guys want to get. Sound off for me in the comments section. Now, there's also the Jeudy trade rumors back again. Again, the Hopkins, Odell Beckham Jr. stuff is not new. Report is out of Denver that the Benjamin Albright that the Cowboys are among the teams that have called. Denver wants a first or an early second and a player, which the Cowboys don't have the early second. They have a late second or a late first, so that doesn't really start to make enough sense there. I think at the asking price, knowing that Lamb is also due for a new deal and Judy's on the exact same timeline with no real flexibility there beyond maybe one franchise tag, but I kind of want to save that for maybe Trayvon Diggs. I think the asking price for Jeudy is too high. You're right to call, but I think the asking price is a little bit higher than what the Cowboys are prepared to meet, because I don't think I want to move the first for Jeudy either. All right, some news now. The Tyron Smith contract details. Smith and the Dallas Cowboys agreed to a contract restructure on Wednesday. We actually have the details now for you. Make sure I get the overall number. It has brought down his salary cap number significantly. He is now looking at a 1 year, $6 million deal, up to $17 million maximum. This saves $9.6 million in salary cap space. He's got playing time incentives that start at 50% playing time, $1 million every 5% increase there, maximum of $9 million there. There's $500,000 for each playoff win. That also does require 75% regular season playing time and 51% playoff time. So the more he plays, the more Tyron Smith ends up getting. So for now, this is how I would structure your offensive line depth chart. The law firm of Smith & Smith on the left side. Tyler Biadasz there at center. Zach Martin. Terrence Steele. That's fine, but you need premium veteran insurance if you're going to trust Tyron Smith. When the Cowboys make moves, we make the news. That's what I meant to say, but I kind of botched it there. Hit that subscribe button. Free videos every single day right here on the Cowboys Report. Whatever's going on, we have you guys covered on the Dallas Cowboys. Let's move to Bobby Wagner now, the former Seahawks and Rams linebacker, once again linked to the Cowboys in free agency. But the decision to re-sign Leighton Vander Esch probably takes Dallas out of the Wagner running. Wagner was still very good this year. Was he really an all-pro caliber player? I'm not so sure about that one. But he played a very strong and impactful role for the Los Angeles Rams. And with Dan Quinn and about $20-ish million in cap space, yes, I would have interest in pursuing Bobby Wagner in the open market. The issue is with Van Der Esch now under contract. I know Anthony Barr is a free agent. I don't want to give Damone Clark or Jabril Cox or Devin Harper a chance. That's the route I would go because I don't know if I want to spend massive money at inside linebacker. If it's Bobby Wagner or nobody, I think I'd rather take Bobby Wagner. But I've got focal points on the interior of the defensive line, maybe an O-line, and, of course, the aforementioned wide receiver conversation. What's the percent chance the Cowboys end up getting Bobby Wagner? Sound off for me in the comments section of today's show. I think it's a low number, but feel free to sound off. All right, the latest on Dante Fowler. Josina Anderson had said the Cowboys were in discussions to keep Fowler in Dallas. That was on day 1 of free agency. Here we are now on day 4, and there's been no update, which makes me wonder whether or not it was really they were working hard or if that was just the standard company line there. Dante Fowler did finish with 6 sacks in the season, but he really tailed off down the stretch and wasn't playing in your most important game of the season against the San Francisco 49ers. Had just a handful of snaps. So what I would do, because you got bodies at defensive end right now, you got Sam Williams, Chauncey Golston can play there, Dorrance Armstrong. I'd let Dante Fowler walk, and I hope he gets like a 1-year, $5 million deal. I hope he gets paid so I can get the comp pick, and I'll go sign somebody else who's cheaper, and I get the comp pick from them later on, too. And that's a constant cycle of maximizing your free agency cheap veteran pickups there. One final news item, C.J. Goodwin is back as a member of the Cowboys. 1-year deal, details not yet known at this point. But Goodwin has re-signed with the Dallas Cowboys. The special teams stud will be hanging around longer in Dallas.